Hello, friends. Mm, yeah, I mean, and it seems to be working. Let's see. I'm seeing my YouTube channel in Microsoft Edge, but what if I go to YouTube? Oh, now it's working. Perfect perfection. If I tap on it, there it is. Mm, okay. So I'd like to. Let's see. Let's see. I'd like to share a web page. Let's see. Okay, it's called Bite Size, or that's the sub page. It's under bbc.co.uk forward slash bite size, and so on. Yeah, bite size forward slash guides forward slash blah blah blah. Mm, mm, uh, forward slash revision forward slash three. Hmm. Anyway, it takes me to the Buddha and his teachings. OCR. What does that mean? Optical character recognition? Anyway, it is part of religious studies and now looking at Buddhism. So, who was the Buddha? Why did an Indian prince leave the life of luxury to become a wandering holy man and finally one who is awake and an enlightened being? The Buddha's teachings show Buddha's the natures of reality and the path to enlightenment. Oh, it's got a video. Let's see what the video is like. Oh, it's got videos. Hmm. And related links. The Dhamma in Buddhism. Amalasidi talks about his life as a Buddhist. Mm. Anyway, go back. Now, how do I go back? That's the problem. I can't go back. There's no back button. I have to paste. I go back to where I was, I suppose. Let's see. Oh no. Now I lost it. Not right. Let me see. Oh man, this is all messed up. Let's see. Okay. Hmm. Let's see. Go back. Let's see. I'm going to uh excuse me. There, share. That should work. Okay, now I'm back to the the no four noble truths. So the first one is dukkha. What I find interesting is dukkha is is what I am experiencing right now. A lot of frustration, a lot of suffering, and you probably are too, listening to me. But there's what I find interesting here is the the third one, Sankara Dukkha, the suffering of existence. This could almost be described as background suffering. It is the profound unsatisfactoriness. Isn't that a wonderful word? Unsatisfactoriness. The profound unsatisfactoriness of existence. Sankara Dukkha. So I copy it, and then I wonder if I just type a duck, go and go hit enter, see if it takes me there. And then if I go Sankara Dukkha and go, see if I find there's Dukkha, there's Sankara Dukkha. Oh, it won't work. Clear text not permitted. Something blocked it. So I go back. Hmm. What about Dukkha explained? See if we can go there. Okay, hmm, so uh, the truth about suffering. Uh, let's see what it's the three kinds of suffering. There's dukkha dukkha. Uh, let's just say that it's the pain of suffering, maybe. The sankhara dukkha. Let's just say, oh, refers to the intentional formation of thoughts, mental formation. Sankhara dukkha arises when we take that step beyond simple aversion to an unpleasant physical or mental experience and engage in stressful mental activities such as concocting shoulds and shouldn'ts. Yes, that happens when we let our minds go over something that has happened to us, and we revisit it, and maybe and say, "Oh, wait, didn't I do that?" Oh, it regrets like a shoulds and shouldn'ts, judgments, and anxiety-filled thoughts and questions. Sankara Dukkha has its origins in tanha, craving, because that mental activity reflects a craving for things to be how we want them to be. Let's see. Okay, so that's all good. Interesting. Then there's Viparinama Dukkha. Viparinama Dukkha. Oh, wait a minute. Well, what did I just read? Sankara Dukkha? Hmm. How many sufferings are there? There's three. But I think they have these in a different order, I guess. Let's see. Uh, wait a minute. Yeah, Sankara Dukkha. Dukkha Dukkha. The run-of-the-mill things. Viparinama Dukkha. Dissatisfaction due to change. And then there's Sankara Dukkha. Let's see, where is it? Oh, it's not there. Hmm. Huh? Hmm. It's a good article. No, I can't copy and paste. Uh, let's see. Copy. Okay, so I go to Zoom. Let's see if I go, and I go to chat, chat, and I paste. So Sankara Duka, Sankara Du, two K's, H-A, Sankara Duka. Uh, Sankara Duka is more subtle. Uh, copiar texto. Now I'm going to go to YouTube, and in the chat, how come I can't type in the chat? Oh, here it is. Man, oh, there we go. Oh, my comment is too long. Okay, no, no. That, oh man. Hmm. Dharma. Oh, wake up and think clearly. Let's see. Hmm. Hmm. Let's see. I'm trying to Sankara Duka. Copiar. Then go to here. Let's see. Hmm. So how do I chat in here? Oh, yeah. Let's see. Your view your channel and go perfect perfection and then okay, I'm there. Now how to chat. This is very difficult. Oh, comments are not supported in private. This isn't a private video. Let's see. Why is it why is it private? Get it. Hmm. Oh man. Oh, Dominic said thanks. Let's see. I wonder. Oh, see if I can select everything and then paste. And then go. No, it won't work. I give up. I can't. I'm trying to paste something in the chat, but it's not letting me. Hmm. Hey, Dominic, Dominico, that worked. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to Zoom and close this. And there I am. Now I'm going to read from a book that's called Buddhist Spirituality. Hmm, I think it's volume 8 of a series of books called World Spirituality, an encyclopedic history of the religious quest, edited by Takeuchi Yoshinori. Ui. So there's eight. There's eight. No, there's at or this is volume 8. There's 25 volumes. It starts off with number one, Asian archaic spirituality. Then it goes to European archaic spirituality, then African and Oceanic, and then South and Mesoamerican native, North American Indian, Hindu, and seven Hindu spirituality, but the post classical modern. And then number 8 is Buddhist spirituality, but it's focusing on the Indian, Southeast Asian, Tibetan, and early Chinese. And then number 9, it goes into Chan, that's Zen, but in China, East Asian and contemporary. And 10 is Taoist spirituality, and 11 is Confucian spirituality. It's even got ancient Near Eastern spirituality like Zoroastrian, Sumerian, Assyrio Babylonian, and Hittite. In volume 13, it's got Jewish spirituality, but from the Bible to the Middle Ages. And then number 14, Jewish spirituality, but from the 16th century revival to the present. And number 15, classical Mediterranean spirituality, Egyptian, Greek, and Roman. 16, Christian spirituality, origins to the 12th century. Christian spirituality, High Middle Ages and Reformation. Christian spirituality, post-Reformation and modern. Then number 19, Islamic in the foundations, 20 manifestations of Islamic spirituality. And 21, modern esoteric spirituality. Woo, what's that like? Hmm, that could be what? Theosophy. And then number 22, spirituality and the secular quest. And then 23, encounters of spiritualities, past to present. 24, encounters of spirituality, present to future. And 25, the last volume in this series of world spirituality. It's all a dictionary of world spirituality. And it's got a huge board of editors and advisors from different universities. So even Jacob Needleman is there. He listed. I think he was an expert in Chinese philosophies, science, history. So here's what it looks like. Let's see. We can flip the phone. It says Buddhist spirituality. That's volume 8. But it's this one's focusing on Indian, Southeast Asian, Tibetan, and early Chinese. And in how many chapters are there? How many pages? Oh, almost 400 pages. Yeah, what's the last chapter? Oh, there's chapter 12. I'm going to look at chapter 8. And it says Mahayana philosophies. Let's see. That's divided into several parts, I guess, because the first part says the Madhyamaka tradition. Let's see what others. Oh, hmm. Oh yes, there's the Madhyamaka tradition, a bunch of pages, and then there's the Yogacara tradition, and then we go for a bunch of pages, and then the third one, which is underneath Mahayana philosophy, there's the Buddhist logic and search for certainty. Well, maybe that's not a tradition, but maybe that's a like a tool. Uh but there's the diamond. Oh, okay. So that's Mahayana philosophies. But then I guess this is chapter 9, the diamond vehicle. That's Vajrayana, but that's under Mahayana. Uh, and then it covers the Tantra, different Tantra or classes of Tantra. It's got a bibliography. Herbert Gwenther is in there. Evan Wentz is in there. Evan Wentz, he's the one that published the Tibetan Book of the Dead and some other Tibetan books in the Great Yogi Milarepa back in the 30s or 40s or 50s. Then, what's chapter 10 about? Hmm. The Pure Land Piety? Pure Land Piety? Hmm. Ah, but before chapter 8, there was something. Oh, there was chapter 6, Monasticism and Civilization. That's an article by Robert Thurman. Mm, let's see. What? No. Oh, oh, so this book is divided into big parts. So part two is Mahayana. Oh, I guess part one is Hinayana. Let's see what part one is. Oh, part one is early Buddhism and Theravada, which is, I guess, includes Hinayana. Mahayana, Maha means great, and Yana means vehicle, but it refers to like the greater vehicle versus the lesser vehicle. It refers to uh, it's saying we can individually become Buddhas, but in order to be, but why do we want to become Buddhas? Oh, because we imagine, or they say that as a Buddha you have perfected yourself. That's the topic of today's episode. Perfection. No, perfect perfection. So a Buddha is someone that has perfected himself to such a degree that hmm, I wonder what that's like. A little bit more free will, like we feel like we have zero free will, that we are governed by our senses, the physics, the atoms is deterministic, is a machine. So we have practically no free wills. Some say that we don't have any. But as a Buddha, we have at least some free will, or at least we have some control of our life and our future lives. So we are able to choose our parents wisely, maybe more wisely than normal. And so maybe we have a mission. A mission like to teach. Mm. Oh, chapter 7, the sutras. The Prajna Paramita and the rise of the Mahayana. Oh, so this is the Mahayana is, how did it come about? Yes, that's an interesting story. So at the time of King Ashoka, that's hmm, I wonder if King Ashoka was alive when, no, I think Alexander the Great had already died, and then King Ashoka came about. Maybe King Ashoka learned about Alexander the Great because Alexander the Great got to India or knocked on the door, but they didn't let him enter, or maybe his troops were worn out after conquering so much, and they finally got to India, and they said, "Ah, we're not this again," and so they wanted to go home. And so maybe they did do some battles in India. They didn't conquer much of India, maybe a portion, and they influenced Indian civilization. Maybe the the art the art of India. The Greek sculptures. Maybe they influenced Indian art. So And so here we have there's this king Ashoka. So he must have been maybe 100 years after Alexander the Great. In 232 BCE, Buddhist there were already Buddhist monks at that time. I guess King Ashoka was able to conquer much of India, and so he converted into Buddhism, and he wanted, I guess, like Constantine. He allowed Christianity into the Roman Empire. This King Ashoka allowed Buddhism into his empire, his India. See, it says that after the time of King Ashoka, Buddhist monks and nuns lived in community in large monasteries, economically supported by kings and wealthy merchants. So, having neither financial problems nor domestic and social duties, they were able to devote themselves to doctrinal or abhidharmic studies, prolonged meditation practice, and the search for emancipation. So that's, I guess, the India had become pretty wealthy, and they had uh, monks and nuns devoted to the technology of meditation, so they could develop their skills in meditation and maybe refer to the textbooks on meditation. I guess you could say the Abhidharma. The Abhidharma could be considered a textbook on meditation. Well, it talks about the mind. So if you understand the mind, then maybe you could apply it to your meditation. Yeah, see, so they were able to devote themselves to doctrinal studies, which is in the Abhidhamma. That's a kind of text, a category of text, because maybe there's several Abhidharmas. Anyway, they had time to study these books, and they prolonged their meditation practice, and maybe they attained certain levels. In the search for emancipation, they were like astronauts, but going inside. Mm. They were astronauts of the mind, of the final frontier. Mm. They were able to prolong meditation in search for emancipation. Emancipation as in liberation. Activities far beyond the capacity of mere mortals, of lay followers. Lay as in they can get laid. They're compared to uh, monks and nuns, unless maybe they got along too well. No, they kept them separate. Monastic Buddhism became like a professional career, and monks and nuns tended to discriminate against lay Buddhists because of their inferior attainments. They would laugh at them. They'd say, "We monastics, we have more time for meditation, so we're far superior to you lay people." Let's see. During the last centuries of the BCE and the early centuries of the CE as in Common Era. Oh, so that would be the time of Jesus, around before and after, within a century or two. Yeah, during that time, there were some people called several people actually. There was the Bactrians, the Shaka Scythians, the Parthians, the Kushans. These people kept invading India and beating him up. Maybe they even hurt the monks and nuns. They were unless they knew kung fu or use weapons. Or maybe they would have to run away. Maybe run to Tibet. Let's see. These peoples they kept invading northwestern India, where there were a lot of Buddhist activities, and they penetrated deep into the Indian subcontinent. So people suffered. I imagine they would have from wars, pillage, murder, poverty, rape, all that, and all that. In this time of upheaval, people who had lost their families, farms, and possessions had to resort to evil deeds to make their living. And there's stories of that period that tell how Brahmins are like considered holy and scholarly. I don't know if they were monks, celibate, or maybe they were, maybe they weren't. Probably, mostly they weren't. The stories of periods tell how Brahmins abandoned their 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 sacred books, their ancient Vedic rituals, and submitted to serfs. Serfs? Mm, mm. And the social ethics then degenerated. And wives betrayed husbands, and husbands betrayed wives. There was a lot of cheating going on. Boys only 8 years old would get married, and 5 year old girls bore children. 5 year olds. That's crazy. And people killed one another as if they were chasing deer. And then the Hinayana saints of that period taught karmic retribution and transmigration. Maybe they taught that to try to get people to get them back on track, emphasizing the merits of meditation and a religious way of life. But this teaching failed to relieve the anxiety of people. The anxiety people felt, or it, these teachings of the Hinayana did not offer a path of salvation practicable under the conditions of everyday life. And I imagine that the people or that the monks and nuns they had to be supported by these people. So if they lost faith in the system, they would stop supporting monks and nuns. So maybe they were in danger of losing their career if the society in general is falling apart. Between oh, mm, welcome, welcome, Don. You saved you saved the meeting. The wake up and think clearly. Now we can wake up like Dawn has woken up because she's woke. No, just kidding.
Good morning, Hiram.
Welcome. Good morning, Dawn. This is the dawning of the dawn age.
The dawning of a new day.
Mm. Yes, of a new day because it's a brand new day.
Yes.
Mhm. It's perfect. It's everything is perfect actually.
What have you been reading?
Hmm. Oh yes, I'm reading a book. I jumped into chapter 8, but then I wanted to see what was before and what was after. And the book is called Buddhist Spirituality, and it's like part of a series of books of world spirituality.
Oh.
World. They these people from different universities, all these professors, I guess,
Mm.
the editors and advisors, they called for articles on world spiritualities while you have the the African oceanic spiritualities, the archaic European, the the North American Indian spiritualities, the South American, the Hindus, the Buddhists, the Taoists, Confucians, the Near Eastern, Zoroastrian, some Jewish, classical, Mediterranean, Egyptian, Greek, Roman, Christian, real early, Middle Ages, in modern Islamic foundations, I'm interested. Modern, hmm, and things happening in a dictionary. 25 volumes of world spirituality. And I picked up volume 8. Volume 8 and 9 on Buddhist
Mm.
spirituality. And and it so happens that I'm in volume 8 and I went to chapter 8. But then I said, wait a minute. Chapter 8 is difficult. Maybe I should go back. So I went to chapter 7 and I learned that the India was getting beat up by people from other countries. Mm, yes, the Bactrians, the Shakashistians, the Parthians, the Kushans invaded northwest India and then caused much damage to the people. In the time of upheaval, people suffered from wars, pillage, murder, and poverty. People lost their families, farms, possessions, had to resort to evil deeds to make a living. Oh, it was terrible. The Brahmins, they gave up their ancient Vedic rituals. So everything was falling apart. What will we do? Where will we go? Hmm.
Sounds very similar to
That was
our current age.
3rd century BCE. And there was a king, Ashoka. He conquered lots of India and he became Buddhist and he encouraged Buddhism to thrive in India when there wasn't any. It kind of like Constantine with the Christians encouraged Christians to thrive in the Roman Empire, and they were pretty successful. The Christians, like before that, it was a Jewish sect. They were getting beat up and they had no respect. And then Constantine gave them respect, and so they started taking over the whole empire, and the whole empire became Christian. Hmm. So maybe India became kind of Buddhist, but that was two or three, 2 or 3 centuries before Christianity. Hmm. And then, but what happened next? Ah, fast forwarding, there was there were some some books called The Perfection of Wisdom Sutras. Hmm. And there's The Perfection of Wisdom in 8,000 lines. And there's a Perfection of Wisdom essence in maybe 30 lines. And then within that, it has a mantra, the super duper mantra, the mantra of all mantras, the king of the mantras is Tayata Om Gate Gate Para Sam Gate Borisoha. Tayata Om Gate Gate Para Sam Gate Borisoha. let's see. Oh, look at that. Mm. But then, fast forward. Oh, the Avatamsaka Sutra. And fast forward, the Lotus Sutra, the essence of Mahayana, universal
What are
Buddhahood.
sutras?
Mahayana
What are,
Sutra.
what are
Hmm?
sutras?
No, no. Yes, they're like books. But then there's tantras. Oh, so there's this difference between sutras and tantras. Hmm. Well, sutras hmm, are more, maybe a little bit more for the general public, and then tantras are more secret, more a secret doctrine. That's like the movie The Secret. It's more mental. It's more. No, it's more. What is it? More about chakras. Yes, more. Yeah, it's more like more yogic, like tantric sex. Yes. No, that's just part of it. No, it's more like you have to have a guru, uh, 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 and to transmit to you the teaching, and then you will understand it. But if you try to learn it from a book, like I'm doing, you don't understand anything. uh, let's see. So, hmm. And then, oh, and they came up with several philosophies of Mahayana. Oh, Mahayana. Oh, the Maha means great, and Yana means vehicle, and so that's about compassion. Oh, so you could say that Jesus was a Mahayana Buddhist because he talked about compassion. That is, and so in the Mahayana, you want to develop compassion, and by doing that, you become enlightened. Oh, but how do you do that? Oh, that's a catch 22. Quite catch 22. Oh, you could practice compassion for others, and then that will elevate you spiritually to become a Buddha. And as a Buddha, then you can be more compassionate towards others because you'll have psychic abilities. Well, if you use them correctly, like for the benefit of them, I would say. Hmm. Oh, but since we're so stupid that we make so many mistakes, we screw things up so much that even though we try as hard as we can, we mess things up. So maybe it's hopeless. Unless maybe you find a guru that will help you along and make you help purify your negative karma, help burn your karma by making you do 100,000 push-ups or something like that. No, well, spiritual push-ups. Hmm. Yeah, like a personal coach, a personal trainer at a gym. But in this case, a guru is a personal trainer at a temple. Temple. Mm. Let's see. Ah, let's see. Let's see what happens if I go like this. Ah! So, how are you?
Doing good. Doing good. Time seems to have sped up quite a bit. So things seem to
Oh
be
my!
moving quite fast.
Oh my gosh! The year's over.
Yeah.
How can that be? I can't believe it. I thought we just started a few months ago.
We did. And then it just blew by.
There we go.
Crazy. What's been happening in your world? Anything? Have you been noticing any changes in your community? How people interact with one another?
Hmm. Let's see. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, my people are being nicer.
Hmm.
Hmm. Or or is that because of the holidays we're approaching, and so oh, we got to get ready to be nice to each other and maybe plan a big party and things like that. Oh, and the sales. Oh, goodies to buy. Yay!
Well, I noticed the shift right during the pandemic, but it is exponential now.
Oh.
The communities are coming together to take care of its own people. Many groups to take care of one another are popping up. Less push to, you know, government assistance. I'm not saying people aren't using it and people aren't telling other people about government assistance, but
Mm.
I see more groups stepping up to help people on their own right
Mm.
away. And it's so big now. It's growing and growing and growing. So I'm thinking it cannot be just here. It has to
No.
be everywhere in some way.
Mm.
But also, I
Mm.
realize it's a perception as well, because there are
Mm.
some people who only see gloom and doom right here
Mm.
in this community. I see it on our group Facebook page where people are posting about how negative everything is.
Mm.
Um, but I see it so different and I feel it as well. The energy is shifting.
Mm. Well, I was listening to that one that I sent you. This lady. Where did I find that? Oh, in a group on Facebook that is kind of maybe an anti-vax kind of group or and conspiracy theories, and someone posted that video, and I started listening to it, and and then and then she talked a lot of things, but something that I jotted down in my head was get ready for 2027, where we will have a huge worldwide strike of the common people. Maybe we'll go on strike and topple mm, maybe the the attempt to benefit the elites, the world globalization that has us enslaved or something like that. We will topple them in a huge strike 2027. Get ready to rumble.
Well, that would be interesting. And I have my own opinions that this was a long time coming, and
Oh.
some that would not like for that to happen have been warning and also um, trying to avoid it by posting fear about that. When you have a product and you want people to buy it and you see that sales are slowing down significantly, sometimes people will use fear tactics to keep the product moving. oh, you got to buy now. You don't want
Mm,
to miss this. It's the
mm-hmm,
last chance, you know. So
and
people
we put
use
a
those
clock.
kinds of tactics. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fear moves energy very
Mm,
quickly and without reason, most often. Like I believe that the Walking Dead series may have some messages in there for us
mm,
about, you know, what may happen if we
mm,
decide to leave this so-called um, very organized society. But I don't believe that we have to leave the organized society in order to disconnect from the monsters.
mm,
It's a perception. Many of
mm,
us are deathly afraid of losing um, the control that they have over us. Many
mm,
people need to be imprisoned. They feel comfortable there. So, but I don't know. I can't predict what's going to happen, but I do know that my desire to be free is increasing,
mm,
and my acceptance of reality the way it is or could be is also opening up.
mm,
And we can only change things from an acceptance of where we are anyway. So,
mm.
yeah.
Oh,
I
and I remember now what that lady was talking about, roughly, or that made started making me think. But she talk all kinds of things because she's into all kinds of spiritual things, like knows this and is certified in this and that, and 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 teaches this and that. But she said that so she's she's seeing or talking with others and going to conferences or this and that. She's seeing that that people, yes, wants to have it so that it's not about a dog eat dog world. a it's all about competition, but it's more like collaboration. So so that yeah, or maybe that was from me listening to an audible book about maybe it's a paradigm shift, an economic paradigm shift that we're going towards. Maybe it's caused or it's moved along because of the everybody's so connected in with the internet that everybody's being drawn towards seeing towards waking up to maybe something better. So because we've been conditioned, like maybe in the previous century, that we had to do these things like yes, go to college and get a job and all that. And then after college, it's like a struggle. So maybe they're people are looking for yes, for yeah, and like for we're ruining the planet and all that. So maybe people are looking for something that's more cooperative and more and less dependent on somehow. Oh, and also I, I was I was wondering if there's a way instead of tearing it all down, maybe just hmm, well, some people are very much against going all digital, like like going from cash to all digital, so you don't have to use money. Yes, I more and more use less cash. I'm always using my debit and credit card and hardly ever have cash with me. And but eventually, what if it all becomes digital money? I guess people are going into Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. And what if it is gradually and smoothly we transition into not even have to print or even touch money, and it's all digital money. But then, yes, what people don't like about it is that the government hmm, could get into our account and shut it down or whatever for whatever reason. But the
Already
conveniences
able to
of
do
it.
that.
Hmm,
They've been able to do that for many years. The pandemic showed us that we can exist and live with less. It showed us that. So
mm,
the pandemic almost was a physical manifestation, or I should say, it was a holding place for us to dither in the pandemic while many systems were shifting. But in reality, the digital money system was already, had already shifted over many years. So our reality is catching up for many of us. Those of us who didn't understand it, we're now seeing it in real time in our reality. For example, many banks closed during the pandemic and they began the movement or removal, I should say, of cash from the system. They started some testing, like removing coins. They put out that there was a coin shortage. And I have clients at a restaurants, and it raised so much stress for them because, oh my God, there's a coin shortage. And at the same time, banks were closed. No one can explain what the pandemic had to do with banking. Why did banks have to be closed? It didn't have
mm,
to be just because you needed distancing because of the pandemic or the virus,
mm,
but what was happening behind the scenes was a shifting, a movement to definitely pull some cash out of the system because in reality, people were using less cash for a long time, a
mm,
very, very long time.
mm,
And just yesterday, I received an email from my bank, my business bank, explaining that yet another bank branch was shutting down near me.
mm,
So I think it has to, people are so afraid of change. And I get it because I dithered in the fear arena many, many times. But I have to accept the reality as it is.
mm,
Many people are still using cash predominantly, but many, many more people worldwide are using digital currency. And
mm,
it's not crypto, it's not Bitcoin, it is credit cards,
mm,
debit cards. They've been using it for a very long time.
mm.
So our reality must
And
catch up.
but also the pandemic. Yes. Also, we learned that we could buy a lot. That it was cool to buy more and more stuff online than ever. Yes, it was already in place, but people were still preferring to go out and do groceries. But then more and more, because of being having to be yeah, kind of locked down, then you said, oh gosh, I guess we gotta do everything, buy everything online, and get them to bring our groceries here, delivery and all that. So it became much, uh, people were learning. Oh yes, I can do this. I can get on Amazon. I can get on this and buy things. And even Walmart started trying to catch up with Amazon and trying to get people to yes, you can get your stuff online. Yeah, Walmart. Yeah, all the chains. You can buy stuff online. Maybe for pickup, like Home Depot, you can get something. It was pretty much already in place, but now they've been doing it more,
They
and and
pushed it.
and
Yeah.
Amazon made a big killing on the pandemic. It just got more and more good at it, more powerful at it. That now people just kind of are hooked on it and depend on it. Like businesses, they get their stuff like specialty stuff that you can't really find on at Walmart or anywhere. You'd have to go online. Well, you could go online and find it in Walmart, but they wouldn't have it in stock. Yeah, there's things that you don't that are on the Walmart store online, but you won't find it in the store itself. But I guess you could order it online and then pick it up at a store
or have it
after a few
delivered.
days.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And 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 if
I
you
think
get
all of
Amazon
those things.
Prime,
Mm-hmm.
and when you get Amazon Prime, you get the goodies delivered quicker and free delivery, and you
That's
can.
right. And all of those things that you're mentioning are things that, like you said, we already had, but there's been a huge shift, a push, some might say,
Mhm.
towards using it more. And there are those who can see bad in it, but there's always good and bad, our perception of it anyway, because thinking makes it good or bad. If we don't think about it, it's not good or bad. But there's always something that can happen that might not be what you want, an outcome you may not want
Mm,
from using either system. Some say the way to go is to be
mm,
homegrown. So I see in my
mhm,
community a huge shift. I mean, it is a shift I had not seen in many years of many
mm,
people now growing their own fruits and vegetables. Many
mm.
people now having their own animals, their chickens, goats, making their
Yeah.
own cheese and it's also from, and you would think, oh, that's a good thing, right? But
Mm,
it's also created, and what I did not expect, many angry people who are
mm,
angry because
mm,
now all of a sudden they're hearing chickens
mm,
every morning, waking them up. And I saw that there was a rash of killings, people's chickens being killed. Someone angry killing
mm.
people's chickens because it's too
Yeah,
noisy.
no.
They lost their minds.
No, imagine the rooster crowing every morning,
Can you
uh,
imagine? All of a sudden, you're not used to that. So
like around 5 in the morning.
yes. So, I mean, there are some unexpected outcomes from these shiftings, but I don't think that we should be in either corner. I don't think that it's bad to have progress where people can have things delivered to their homes. That it can be more convenient. Of course, it's going to cost more. People
Mm,
should not expect it to cost less. It should cost more because there's more, you know, people involved, more production, more
mm,
delivery involved.
mm,
But along with that comes a disconnection from
mm,
the source. So you no longer have control over where your
mm,
food comes from. There's some
mm,
people who say you need to buy local, and I
mm,
see the mania in that as well.
mm,
Because why do I have to buy local if I can go to the town over and get the same service for less? Why do I have to get it here? Oh, because you have to support your community. That to me is a mindset of poison because in reality, the whole world is our community. We have been
mm,
connected so that
mm,
we can have free trade with one another without all of this insanity of wars and slavery
mm,
that came along with it. So
mm,
I just feel more of an openness and expansion of understanding that
mm,
negativity and positivity exist at the same time
mhm.
in the same space.
Yeah, and I heard on the radio, I think it was NPR, but I didn't listen to it all, but just a little snippet here and there, and I wish that I heard it all, but it sounded like a good conversation. But I what I got at at the end of it was that Yeah, like what you're saying that growing, yeah, having chickens and all that, but also the idea that we have to mm, com- compete with the Joneses and to have the best lawn in the neighborhood, like for homeowners, a picket fence and all that, or that the American dream is to have that whole house with a big front yard and a big backyard and the lawn mowed looking like a green carpet like Wimbledon. I I guess maybe it comes from England because maybe it's because they have a lot of rain and they I imagine scenes of Ireland. It's all green and yeah, north areas of England is all green and it's like fields of just green. Well, it's fields of gold. No, fields of yeah. The well, it became a it get pay it became like uh I don't know if it's a status symbol or it showed you that yes, you're American if you have a lawn, but they're talking that having lawns is like a biological desert because look what you have to do. You have to hmm, get fertilizer. You have to dump lots of water on it. That where does that water go? It goes underground. Maybe yeah, they spray it with what is that? The chemical that kills weeds that is bad, really can cause cancer. They found
Oh, oh yeah. What was the name of that company? I could see it, but I can't say the
it's
word.
part of Monsanto. It's
Yes.
the uh, ra,
Hmm.
ra, 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 ra,
Like I'm hearing it in my head.
and
I can't hear the name.
and
Weed, lawn and weed killer.
I
But
was gonna
yes, I
say
know what you're talking about.
I was gonna say Rogaine or something.
Not Rogaine. That's hair growth. All right, I'm gonna look it up real quick. Hold on.
And then but there's now a new trend to just let the lawns go mm, let them grow weeds. Like that trend to buy locally. Now there's gonna be a trend to let your lawns fall apart, but then people are gonna complain. But have it grow weeds, and that's good for all kinds of things like the butterflies. Just let it
It's
grow
called
weeds
Roundup.
and flowers. Yeah, Roundup.
We're getting old. No, you know what? I agree to some extent because let me tell you, this house that you guys remember I moved earlier this year, and
Mm,
this house I moved to had no grass, none. It was in really bad shape. And the
mm,
neighbor told me that they had always had problems with growing the grass, including them.
mm,
They were saying, "You're never going to be able to grow the grass." Well, I decided I wasn't going to grow the grass because
mm.
my experience has been if you quit messing with it, it will grow on its own. So, so I that's what I did. I have good energy, and so I enclosed my backyard. I put a little fence because I have my dog, and that's the only area that I focused on putting grass. But I wasn't like aggressive about it. All I did initially was I just fenced in the yard. I didn't put any grass seed or anything. And within a month, the grass started growing here. And
Mm.
the neighbor said, "What are you doing to the grass?" I said, "Nothing." And the neighbor was trying to tell me, oh, don't get your grass cut so low. You got to keep it high because it's going to burn or whatever. I like my grass cut low because I have a dog and I have poop to pick up. And also, I don't want to be walking around in a carpet of grass. Anyway, my neighbor's lawn is magnificent. It looks great. They had not been seeing that happen like that. In the meantime, I went ahead and seeded just my fenced in area of my backyard, but my entire yard front, and I have a large front area, is growing, and all of my back, including the area outside of the fence, is growing magnificently. I don't do any weed killer. I don't put any chemicals on it in all of those areas. It's growing on its own. Some areas die because the sun burns it, but it comes back on its own. So, yeah, I kind of agree.
Yes, yes, uh, I think about that because I've had to cut lawns. Like they had me mow the lawns. Oh, and one time I said, hey, why not use those push mowers that have a spinning thing of blades that's mechanical that doesn't need gas. That was pretty fun. They're light and you can maneuver them. Well, it doesn't always cut the thick things. It's good to go over the on lawns that don't have anything thick because it'll only cut the blades of grass like scissors. Hmm. So you get some exercise and you can run with it. Like you can run fast and it'll cut fast and and turn around quick instead of having to use those heavy lawnmowers that use gas and then that I guess self driven or they have little motor that moves the wheels. That helps. Hmm.
And I see Joel has joined us.
Yes.
Good morning, Joel.
Good
Good morning,
morning.
Joel.
Good morning, Dawn and Hyro and anyone else out there in YouTube land.
Yes, we have
Excellent.
hundreds of people listening on. I think I saw Dominic leave a message, so he was listening
Uh,
in.
Dominic sent me a link to some other YouTube group, but it was like 2 hours long of a couple guys chatting.
Mm,
My attention span isn't that long. I have trouble concentrating on the time between one Vinci move and the next.
mm. No,
Ah,
we have in the house Mike Zorn.
Oh,
Mike
Mike is
Zorn.
here.
Not
Mike,
Mike Taylor. Mike Zorn.
Mike the physicist.
N- n- Not
Eh,
not 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 the mathematician, but
Correct.
Mike Zorn. Is he a physicist?
He is.
Mm.
I'm not sure if he's now in Florida, Texas, or Maryland. Good morning, Mike.
good
Good
morning, Mike.
morning. Another day in paradise.
Are you where is paradise for you these days?
I at the moment I'm in Florida.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
not. It's a little warmer in Florida than any of those other places. But it ain't that warm in Florida today.
It's been cold here.
What part of Florida?
Um, Somewhere in eastern Orange County, unincorporated eastern Orange County.
Eastern Orange County. I'm not sure where that is. There is that
It's
Orlando?
it's between Orlando and Titusville.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, so that's not too far from you, is it, Hiro?
No, in fact, we've actually met in person, me and Hiro.
Really?
Yes.
Oh. And Dawn, are you were in their vicinity too, or do you have to send a drone over for their meetings?
I have to send a drone or I drive because I'm an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes away.
Oh,
North.
Mm,
No, I'm west. I'm west, right, Hyrule?
maybe Northwest?
Okay.
What city are you in, Don?
Inverness. I'm in
Oh,
Citrus
okay, I
County.
know where that is.
Mm-hmm.
It's off of 75,
Mm-hmm. And not too far from the villages.
not too far from the villages. Closer to, well, not closer to Tampa. Nearer to Tampa than I am.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
well, it's good to see everyone here this morning.
Yes.
Indeed, we've been having some cold weather here in Florida.
Mm.
We have a one of the
60
things that's developed.
degrees.
Hmm?
60 degrees.
Yes,
I've
but it
had
dropped
to,
below 40, actually,
I've
or
had
below
to
42.
wear I've had to wear a sweater and a coat.
Oh,
But when it was 50 degrees, that was at 3 a.m. in the morning. And it goes up
Mm.
to 70 degrees by the time Hyro gets up.
Well, we have a one of the things that's developed since the pandemic is we now have a cold weather shelter. And
Have
the
a what?
shelter is doesn't have a home, but we have a local church that has allowed the shelter to use that church as the
Oh,
shelter when necessary. So that means that the homeless people can now come when the temperatures drop like it did, below 42 degrees,
Mm.
then they can come, they can have a place to sleep, they have a cot, food, showers, clothes can get washed. This is one of
Oh.
the magnificent things that's come out of the pandemic.
Mm. A cold weather shelter
in
Yes, for
Florida.
Florida.
in,
In Florida, that's unbelievable.
in Citrus
Yeah,
County? In
yeah,
Citrus County?
yes.
But I don't know about Orlando. Maybe they're cold hearted here. Hmm. I don't know. Yes, today's topic could be perfect perfection. Because I was thinking about the mantra of mantras, the the mantra found in the Heart Sutra, the essence of the perfection of wisdom, where it says it has four different levels of perfection. I guess human perfection, and it gets more and more perfect. Uh, so it goes something like Tayata Om Gate Gate para Samgate Bodhisoha. So I was thinking, that I'm always striving for perfection, but I am perfectly unsatisfied.
That
Hmm.
have you had breakfast yet?
There. If
That's
I
my
only had
my my experience is that until you have breakfast, perfection isn't possible.
that's where my problem lies. I failed to have breakfast.
Ah. And on that note, I'm going to go and put on some oatmeal or fry an egg or do something.
Mm, yes, that would be nice. Maybe you can email me some or
Eh,
put your oatmeal in the chat room, in the chat. That would be nice. In the future, we could not only share uh, text messages, we could share food.
Well,
Will it be scratch and sniff kind of thing? We can see his oatmeal and then we can scratch the picture and will we smell it?
Mm. Oh, yeah, maybe.
I'll
Oh,
send you
I
some
see watermelon.
watermelon.
Thank you. He gave us a picture of some watermelon. I agree. I
Mm.
think I'm gonna go and get my dog out, and I think I'm gonna get some food in my belly as well.
Mm. You come back now. You hear?
If you're gonna talk like that, I'll be back. All right, see you all in a bit. Bye.
See you later. No, but we still got Mike Sorn with us.
Yeah, another miracle.
Mm-mm. What have you been what have you been learning lately?
Uh,
Well,
right here. This is the highlight of my week to come here and hear you guys talk about spiritualism and Eastern religions and Western religions and Orlando politics, all that stuff.
wow. And so today you are going to learn about perfect perfection.
Uh,
Mm. So, but today I learned that it's related to suffering, to unsatisfactoriness because of our of our mm, of our want to keep things permanent. When we see that something is no longer there, then we're upset and suffer the suffering of impermanence. And so we strive to have permanence. We well, it's good to buy things that will last long. That it could save you money in the long run. If you buy something more expensive that you see, it might last longer. Mm, hmm. Oh, but then in music, there's the idea of the perfect fifth, perfect fourth, or something like that. That you have notes separated a certain relative distance in frequency, so that when they harmonize, perhaps their waveforms are more in sync, and so you feel, oh, that's a nice sound of two or three notes at the same time. Maybe their ratios mathematically align, and so it feels pleasant. Well, up to a point, because if you keep hearing that same sound, then it's too perfect. Maybe we want some dissonance. Maybe, well, every now and then, not too much, not too much perfection, not too much dissonance. Oh, maybe perfection is kind of mm, like harmony, and imperfection is disharmony. But maybe it's sometimes good to have disharmony, as in chaos, because at those moments we go into action, and we it moves us to try to bring it back to harmony. Hmm. Like hmm, like upheaval or revolutions. Hmm. The changing of the guard, or just maybe if things are always the same, hmm, we get into a rut, or we appreciate things less and less, and but then when things go wrong, we say, oh, we notice that, oh, wow, I, I'm afraid I might lose this. So, we, what happens when we become afraid of losing something? Well, maybe we appreciate it more. We take care of it more. Oh, like life. I'm afraid of losing my life. Oh, the fear of death. Hmm.
Yeah, that makes a difference. But at this stage of life, you feel is the fear of what is the most important fear that keeps you on track? Is it the fear of death, or is it the fear of inflation, or is it the fear of I don't know what kind of fears keep you on track, keep us on track?
What ca- what is the most fearful fear? Hmm. All right.
Does it change with time, or fear of being
Th-
hungry? When you wake up
Does
at 5 a.m., what's the first thing you think about?
yeah, at 5 a.m. Wednesday morning, 5 a.m. Isn't that an album by Simon and Garfunkel?
No, not that I know of.
Hmm. What is it? What are your fears?
Oh,
What
Mine?
and do your fears change over time? I mean, the, does your fear change over the day or over the decades? Did you have the same fears you had when you were a teenager that you have now?
No,
Hmm.
I don't think so.
Or
I
what
think
is the
as I
best
get
fear?
older, my fears of death are dissipating.
uh-oh. Is that something you look forward to because
No, I wouldn't.
you know that there's something important on the other side?
No, I haven't reached that point yet, and I may never, but I am
Oh.
certainly more cognizant of it, having just passed another birth date.
Well,
Mm.
suppose one of the things that said if it ain't for all this good diet and exercise and oatmeal and vitamin pills and vitamin D infusions and other things you went through, you might have reached this heavenly, what's on the other side, uh, 20 years sooner.
Yeah,
You have to put up with Pierre Trudeau and all the nonsense. And, yeah, well,
Mhm.
income tax as a former accountant was a blessing, right? Because that
well,
kept you
kept,
employed.
kept me
Uh,
alive.
Look at income
Mm.
tax and say, oh my God, why do we have income tax? The
Yeah,
government isn't getting their money from income tax. They just print more money when they need it. The income
Mm.
tax is there to destroy money and to keep people
Oh.
in line rather than to fund the government. Because they fund
Mm.
the government by printing money.
well,
Mm.
however it works, I had work to do and people would pay me for it, and it kept the wheels of commerce turning.
I don't
Mm.
know. It probably is like sand in the wheels of commerce, since we
Yes,
now know that most of the money they get comes from the printing press.
Mm.
I got to go check on my breakfast.
Okay.
Mm. No, fear of burning the toast. Fear of burning the food.
Oatmeal is harder to burn than toast.
The oatmeal.
I think that's what he said he was going to get.
Yes, you could get the bottom of the pan to have oatmeal stuck to it, or the pot, and that's a drag to clean it.
Well, I eat it right out of the pot, and the stuff that's this part that's stuck to the sides of the pot is the best part.
Oh yes, like rice. Yeah, I have a rice cooker, and the bottom it gets a little bit of a burnt rice layer, but it comes off. Yeah, easily, and I eat it. Well, I try not to scratch the pot. Use a plastic spoon or something that might still scratch it a little bit. Mhm. But but then you might have the fear of scraping off the metal from the bottom of the pot, like Teflon or whatever paint they use, and it might get in you. The fear of cancer, the
Oh,
fear of all these metals. Hmm. Maybe maybe fear of diseases, of suffering in the hospital is more horrible than death itself. I guess death itself is not that fearful. It's the process of getting there. The the going from being relatively healthy to be to realizing that you're in hospice, and they're giving you morphine, and you can't believe you're there. Uh, there's like the 5 steps that Kubler Ross
yeah, Kubler-Ross.
gave about. There's grief, yeah, the grieving that that you that, that dying people go through. Like maybe the first stage might be they can't believe it, they don't accept it. I'm not dying. I don't want to die. Get me out of here.
I
And
wonder if that's the first step, what people are going through, what the dying person is going through, or what the people who know the dying person who realize that the person that they are, their object of their whatever is dying. So I think Kubler-Ross talked about grief of the people who know the person who's dying. That the person who's dying is too busy dying, and the mind is so numb that they're often not thinking about what's going on around them.
oh, mm,
The people who are left behind say, "I'm left behind."
oh,
I don't
the
know. That's I
the
think what Kubler-Ross was talking about.
oh, oh. So
Uh,
the stages of grief applied to the loved ones, the ones that are
or,
watching
yeah,
their loved one die.
I think that's what Kubler-Ross wrote about.
Mm.
Both groups have something to worry about, but according to my analysis, my understanding is Kubler-Ross addressed the people who are left behind. Okay.
Oh, after the dead person is gone, then the grievers go through some stages also.
Right, exactly.
But she was dealing with a lot of people dying, and she saw those stages in the people dying too. Didn't unless oh, she must have been talking with them a lot. She must have seen hundreds of cases or maybe thousands. Hmm. Oh, but because she was talking about her own death as she was dying, and she was saying that she's really pissed off that she's dying. She can't. So she's saying, "Oh, now I better start implementing what I learned from seeing so many people die. Maybe I should try it on myself too." I imagine.
Yep, that could be.
And then there, there's the. Is there a fear, not of dying, but a fear of the unknown after dying, like after death, the afterlife, or the after non-life? So if one subscribes to there is no life after death, then that's cool. There's nothing to fear. But if one says, well, maybe there's something going on afterwards, so maybe there's a fear of what that will be like. Maybe it'll be a bad dream for a while. And then after 49 days, maybe you'll find another uh, fetus to jump into. I hope it's a good family.
Where did the 49 days come from in your thought?
Yes, I wonder where that come from. Seven weeks, 7 days, 7 weeks, 49 days. I wonder where that comes from. Where's my Tibetan Book of the Dead?
That's
Is
from
that, is that
that's the book
something?
in the dead. Okay.
Is that something you read, Hiro? Is that a belief that Buddhists have or something?
Yes, in the Tibetan Book of the Dead, you got 49 days in the bardo. Maybe it, but Uh, who knows if those days correspond to the human days? But yeah, they say you're in the bardo. You're in a bardo, and you go through different things happening to you. You see different mm, wrathful beings, and also different good beings, or beings that you find not very appealing, maybe very scary, and then beings that you find attractive. Oh, but the Tibetan Book of the Dead is like a liturgy that they read to you while you're dead. So they hire a Buddhist monk to read the Tibetan Book of the Dead to you while you're dead. So they keep your body for as long as they can. Uh, since Tibet is cold, then they don't need to be in a hurry to cremate you or to uh, put you in somewhere. So they keep your body as long as they can, and they hire monks to read the Tibetan Book of the Dead, and then that helps guide you in the bardo. They say, oh, 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 Joel, you are dead now. So just remember that while you're dead, you'll see this and that. But don't be afraid. It's all made up. Just like this life was kind of made up. It's all in the mind. So don't get scared or frightened. Just keep going towards the light or something like that. Or just keep in mind your spiritual guide. Or maybe if yes, if you're Jewish, maybe what keep in mind Abraham, Isaac, and or Yahweh, Jehovah, or the angels of God. Yes, yeah,
So,
just
so the Tibetan Book of the Dead is to Buddhist monks like the Income Tax Act is to accountants. Is that what that's what you're saying, I think. They hire the monks around this. They don't go on an annual cycle. They go on a life cycle, and monks, develop an economy that gives them employment for 49 days after somebody passes. Is that what you were saying?
Well, they probably won't be able to keep the body that long. It might start to decompose. So maybe they will eventually have to do something with it. Maybe if you're wealthy, maybe they could do a nice cremation for you. If you're not so wealthy, then they'll dump your body they throw it off a cliff or something. Oh, or maybe you could have a sky burial. That's where they hire experts on that, and they take you up up somewhere out in the field or where and they start cutting your body in little pieces, and then the vultures come and eat up your pieces, and they even chop up the pieces of wood, I mean the pieces of bone. Oh, they even break it down in real small pieces so that even the vultures will be able to eat all your bones, and then you'll be flying over the Himalayan mountains in vultures.
Well, and I maybe I should start considering myself to be a Buddhist monk of taxation.
Oh, a new career field for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do they call that ceremony with the vultures?
The
They
this
put
the sky burial.
sky burial. You have
Yeah.
to pick vultures to eat or that comes for free.
Yes, after you die, maybe you could get or if your family might afford a sky burial. They get experts to cut your body up in little pieces and put it available for the vultures to come by and eat it all up.
What I would imagine that nature handles it in their own way, and you don't really have to cut it up. You just put it up, hang the body out there, and the vultures do their thing for free.
Mm. Yeah, maybe they want to make sure that it's done nicely, and maybe that's the proper way to do it. I guess they have experts that are trained to cut up the body up and lay it for the vultures to take. Hmm. Maybe that
Okay.
way, maybe it doesn't lay there too long. They go to a spot where the vultures know that the dinner's ready. Maybe the vultures are trained to, okay, here comes another one. Okay, Vult- hmm. The vulture cemetery. Hmm. So yes, you too, Joel, can get a sky burial. It's only $10,000.
How do you get a sky burial?
Yes, maybe you have to go to Tibet and find a sky burial cemetery. And maybe you could Google it. Where can I get a sky burial? Maybe you have to go somewhere in Tibet, maybe near the Himalayas.
Wow. That's a rather macabre subject.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
maybe you guys know. If you get a Word document that's locked, do you know how to unlock it?
Yes.
How do I do that?
With a,
Well, go ahead, Joe.
oh, maybe you could do that. Does it ask for a password?
No, it doesn't ask for anything. Clem mailed me a copy of the instructions that he wants to type, and I'm trying to do some edits, but he's not really that computer literate, nor am I. And
Oh,
he
oh,
had
you
I can
somebody
can,
give
else.
you
you
I can give
can.
you a couple sentences on how to do it. You
Okay.
may not be able to open it for editing, but you may be able to open it for reading and
Yeah,
make a
yeah,
copy.
I can open it to read, but I need to edit it.
Okay,
Oh,
now the way you do that is you copy it, you save
yeah.
it under a different name, and
Hmm.
be able to
Yeah.
edit the one that you saved under a different name.
Oh,
Yeah.
Other than
Mm.
that, you could ask the creator of the document to give you
unlock
a
it.
secret word, a secret password.
Okay, but I don't even see because I don't deal with these things very often. I can't even find the place where you'd enter the password or any of that stuff. But
Well, he can, somebody who's computer literate can tell you where to enter the password.
okay,
But that's
No.
the technique that I said, save it under a different name and then you'll be
yeah,
added the new name.
yeah, that might.
Hmm.
Where the hell did I put it now?
That's a separate problem. That's comes
Yeah,
under
Mm.
now, where did I leave my keys?
yeah, exactly.
That's
No.
where did I leave
My debit card.
my debit card?
I can't find my debit card. I've lost my debit card and one of my AirPods. And what else have I lost in this room? Hmm. Oh, my brain. I think my mind. Is I lost my mind? Mhm. No, let's see. Yes.
The dog ate my homework. The sky vultures ate my brain.
Wow, one time I ate brain. Yeah, I was in the Air Force and I stayed in near Arecibo, in near the coast, near they have the Coast Guard, I think, near there, and they had radar equipment or a radar, one of those that are in a dome, like a geodesic dome,
Yeah.
and inside is a radar, and and we did something there, a team of Air Force guys, and we stayed in the hotel, no, in a motel, and across the street was a Spanish restaurant, and I went across the street and ordered calf brains. So so I tried it, and it tasted what did it taste like? It didn't taste like anything.
It tastes
Hmm.
like chicken.
It tasted it looked like cauliflower. No, but it was soft. Jello-y, gelatiny. Hmm. It was cooked. No blood. Kind of. It looked like gray matter. Hmm. But then, after eating the first bite, I started thinking I'm eating a brain. Then I started not feeling so good. Hmm. I think I managed to eat it all. But that was when was that? That was in 1989 or so. Wow. That's when I was in the Air Force. That was in yeah. I was in Biloxi, Mississippi. Yeah, stationed there. Hmm. Ra- radar mate radar maintenance. Hmm.
I
Yeah.
st I still can't seem to edit it.
Hmm.
Here, let me can I use screen sharing here? I don't know.
Well, you can open the save it and then close it, and then reopen the copy. You were you able to save it under a different name,
Yeah, I did that part.
and then close the original, close everything, and then try and open the. If that doesn't work, send it to me, and I'll give you a copy that maybe will work if I can.
Okay.
Hmm.
Editable now. Where did I put
I
it?
assume you trust me enough to share your.
Oh yeah. I'm not
Interesting.
worried. I'm not worried because, you have all the nuclear secrets. So what does this compare to by virtue of
Well,
you?
they don't really trust me. They follow me around. They probably listen to tap my phone, and then
Wow.
after all that, they interview me every now and then and see if I'm what kind of drugs I might be taking. And
Maybe you could sell what you have to Donald Trump. He's
I,
into that.
no, he, if you can't trust Donald Trump, who can you trust?
He
And
was the president after all.
He,
hmm. Yes, and he always tells the truth. All you have to do is multiply it by -1 and you get the truth.
Okay, so I've closed everything now. So now I even closed the Word
okay.
program. So now I'm gonna
Still
try
can't
and
read it?
now I gotta find the Word program now. I closed it.
Remember the name that you saved it under.
Yeah, I called it editable something or other.
Edit-
That's not a problem, but I have to figure out where why can't I find my
Went
iPhone?
into a folder called, are you on a Mac or on?
I'm on a Mac.
See,
Probably went
there's your problem.
well, you can use Finder and search for the word editable.
Hmm.
Editable file names kind is last created date within the last
The recent files.
10 days and search this Mac. Maybe it's not on this Mac, it's just on.
Oh,
You got it as an attachment to an email. Why don't you send me the original email?
Okay, let me do that. Because now I can't find anything.
hmm. Wow.
This is confusing.
Yeah.
If Rami joins this, Rami among all of us he's a professional IT person.
So
Hmm.
what's your email again, Mike? Mikey?
Well, let's see, Magical X Realism. No, send it to mike.soren@yahoo.com.
Mike.Soren. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I got it. I'll put document. And then now how do I attach it?
There's a paperclip in the corner of your.
Yeah, I got that. And then I gotta go.
Paperclip and then don't attach it. Just forward me the original email that he sent.
And if I can find that, Mexican Sonata upload.
Attach it. Okay, well.
Let's see if I can find it even. Clem.
Why? Why is technology so complicated?
In the quest for simplicity, they added another level of simplicity. So simplicity squared is equal to chaos.
Yeah, I'm coming to that conclusion myself. Everything has gotten to simplify everything so much, it's gotten so complicated. When I was standing in line for a cup of coffee and looking at paying for a cup of coffee and getting it poured and putting your points card on and deciding how to pay it. They spend more time at the cash register keying in all these permutations and figuring out payment systems that don't work or credit cards that don't work.
Mm.
Yeah, isn't that wonderful?
There's layers and layers of bureaucracy to get something done. Wow. Mm. I couldn't get something on Zoom. I went to zoom.us and signed in, and I was trying to delete the recordings because I had downloaded them, and I only got 5 GB and it was full, so I can't save anything more on the Zoom cloud. So I downloaded them and saved it on a computer, and then I forgot to delete the ones that were there to make room. So I was gonna try to do it on my phone. So I went to zoom.us and I couldn't find my recordings. And all they want to do is look at wonderful products that we have. Look, you can upgrade.
I just got a lot of Joel Schuster.
Yeah, that's me.
Mm-hmm.
That's me last time I checked.
Oh, I thought you were Vinci.
That's you.
Oh,
Yeah, but that's
open
only for public consumption.
That's right, I can't open it.
Why not? Don't you have Word?
Yeah, I have Word.
So how do you like this little cardboard?
Doc3.docx. It's called doc3.docx.
Yeah. It's Microsoft Word version X or something.
Oh. Oh.
Whoa, I almost dropped everything. I better put the top on this jar so that when I do drop it, it won't. Say, there might be an interesting lecture today if you guys are available at 11 o'clock. They're talking about Ali Herson, that
Oh,
she's speaking
a
at the
famous,
Toronto Youth.
a famous Muslim dissident, and the contract on her life.
Does she have a contract too?
Yeah.
Well, you know that I was there when Salman Rushdie was stabbed.
You were physically in the room?
I was physically in the auditorium.
Wow.
Yeah, it was quite amazing because, actually at the moment that it happened, I was sitting out there in the audience, and here's this very sedate older man coming down, sitting down on the stage, and I thought, I wonder if all this stuff is BS, just publicists, promotion, a way to get attention, sell books. And just at that moment, as I'm thinking that, I was sitting, I don't know, 10 yards away from him on the side. It's an amphitheater in a place called Chautauqua. Boom, this kerfuffle breaks out. And I'm not skeptical anymore because I was there.
Oh, you were skeptical.
Well, I was wondering, but there are people like this in the world that are, willing to kill for whatever it is that they think is important.
You were skeptical of the rumors that he was in danger, and you were thinking that he was putting out that he was in danger so that they would feel bad about him and buy his books or something like that?
Not that they'd
And,
feel bad about him, but just
I
the
have one
publicity.
question. One question. Did you buy the book?
I did not. In
Ah,
fact,
didn't work.
I didn't even stay. We drove, I don't know, maybe 100 miles out of our way. We just so happened we were on our way back to Toronto from Florida. And I noticed,
I don't think you sent me the right thing. I opened it. It says sell to family, to sell to any member of my family, any part of my estate.
oh no, I sent you the wrong thing. Okay.
I could open that if that was a problem too.
Well, yeah, if you can. I think it was a PDF. I don't have all that software, but let me see if I can find the right thing. So I need a new mail.
Hmm.
I need Mike Sorn. And then I have to go to the file and
Does that sound like something that you had on your machine?
yeah, I must have mislabeled it or something. So if I go into the downloads and I go here, you can, okay, here it says viewing. You can only view this document. You do not have permission to edit it. So I got the right one.
Okay, send it to me.
Now, let me see if I can send it to you. Read only. And then wait a minute, let me duplicate that. And I'm going to put that also in the Vinci instructions under another name. Save it in my downloads. So now I know where it is, but it still doesn't let me edit that. Editing.
Oh,
You might be better off to send me to just forward the email if you can find it, because
Yeah,
there's been by the time you've tried to open it, there's another level
security.
of confusion.
Yeah.
hmm. Wow.
Well, this one is the one that I downloaded.
All
So
right, send me that. Let's try that.
let's see, where the heck did I put that one now? Drafts. Mike Sorn. Okay. Doesn't look like the attachment went on it. Add subject.
Hmm.
Copy. Let's attach this again. Now, is this in my OneDrive or in my upload or on browse this computer?
It doesn't matter, because if it's attached to your email, right now, the one you sent me that I opened that said that was about reselling property was
Yeah.
in your OneDrive.
Okay.
I
I don't
was
even,
able to find it.
no more multiple file versions, upload to OneDrive, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to send you both documents, the one that I just, anyway, I don't know what I'm doing. Let's see if this one comes through.
All right.
Send. Okay. Now we'll see what we got here. So here's some more prototype boards, little ones.
Wow.
This one would be much more challenging for people with visual limitations. Can you see these all right,
Yeah,
Mike?
I can see them.
How about you, Jairo? You're just on a telephone? Is it too small?
Let's see. I
Can't.
could go like this, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. So here we got 3 different prototypes
Oh my goodness.
with different playing pieces. So this one is like the pocket micro version. You can take this with you anywhere. You can even put it on a keychain. These I'm looking at whether they can be produced on cardboard so that they'd be very inexpensive and widely available. And then you've got all different sizes. So are you up for a game yet, Mike? You would
Not
only
at the
be,
moment, but
you would only be the second physicist to ever play.
ah,
Hmm.
The
well, that's good.
well, and I think you'd be the first American physicist.
That's even better. Where was this other physicist from?
Italy. Well, he was in the United States at the time, but he is an Italian. Very nice man.
Well, what was his name?
Stefano Martinelli.
Okay, no, he's not the one, the Italian physicist that I know.
You were thinking of Fermi? I don't know.
Well,
What's
Fermi, yeah, Fermi is, uh, yeah, Fermi is Italian, but he came via, he came to America um, uh, via Enrico Fermi has a complicated, how would you say, CV. Uh, he came to he was of the Jewish persuasion, and he was brought in when Hitler got too close to Mussolini, and he came to and he ended up at the University of Chicago, uh, a few miles from my house.
really? Did you ever meet him?
No, but I used to when I was growing up. I used to ride my bicycle past the place where he created the first chain reaction.
Oh, really?
And but by that time they had taken his entire office and 4 feet down of the topsoil in the area, and trucked it out to uh, uh, the desert in wherever.
What, it was radioactive or they had fear?
Radioactive.
Oh, really?
Well, he died of 11 different kinds of cancer going
No.
on simultaneously. But he lived about 10 years past the event.
So in his chain reaction, he had released radioactivity that he had exposed himself to.
Probably exposed the entire neighborhood to.
Oh, really? Have they ever done any studies about how many other people came down with cancers in disproportionately large numbers?
They didn't tell us anything, and they certainly didn't tell any of the other people who died. You might say that I might be eligible for that too.
How old are you now, Mike?
39 and a half.
I thought you were
Every year I get a 1 year younger.
how I thought you were a little older than that.
But next year I'll be even younger.
You didn't go to John's Franklin Circle last night, or were you there? I can't remember.
I was there, but my microphone wasn't working.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Now I remember. Well, Jairo and I were struggling with how to how to use a doubling block when you're playing Vinci, if you wanted to, you know, increase the odds of winning or speed up the game. And we got kind of stuck at that point. I don't know if Hyro's still awake now. I
Oh,
think.
I was asleep.
Oh, so is your in your housing accommodation, you have a TV hanging from the ceiling?
Yes.
That's kind of cool. It's almost like being in a dentist's office.
Let's see. There's the TV. Two. I have two TVs and a guitar in the ceiling. Ooh.
Hyro.
Oh,
Hyro does.
there we go. Let's see if I can turn it on and watch some Netflix. Oh,
Did that document come to you, Mike?
Yeah, I don't believe that it is editable because what he did is he sent a picture of the document.
Oh, okay. Oh, that
Uh,
explains it.
um, so it's editable, but it's not the. You should ask him to send you the text file. Now you can edit it by treating it as a picture and building text boxes around the, or you could read it through an OCR. Now the reason why I sent you a picture of the document is because he has pictures in there that are not text, and so he made the whole thing a picture.
Oh, wow.
So he is not as illiterate as.
No, he didn't do this himself. He says he had a friend of his is in the real estate office in Sweetwater did it. But, you know, I don't know. He
You
says
could edit it with pictures and with some picture.
well, this is really, I think the whole thing has to just be retyped in a new document.
hmm.
I can probably read it with OCR and send you the document in a new document without the imagery.
Well, if you can do that, that would be great.
Okay.
Anything that'll save me all that typing. Because a lot of it is very good, but some of
But what's very good is he drew those pictures of the objects. I imagine the friend of his in the real estate office could give you a better copy.
yeah, that's what I think too, but I really don't know. And I don't know if he understand, like I didn't understand any of these things until you just explained them to me now.
Hmm.
So Rami hasn't been around for a few weeks. He's become a Jain, did you say, Hyro? He's become a Jain evangelical, and because we're playing Vinci and Vinci is
Hmm.
competitive, he's abandoned us.
He's become or he's practicing nonviolence,
Okay.
ahimsa. So, so the Jains in India, they make nonviolence the most important principle. So he he can do no harm. So by playing the game,
Yes.
that makes him hungry for violence. He wants to be competitive and win at games. So in real, that will translate to real life. Well, he'll be competitive and beat up his wife and kids.
That that
But
that sounds
how
that
did you
sounds
get from point A to point B? I don't understand.
Yeah, I find it a bit perplexing as well, but hey, as we say in Quebec, chacun a son goût.
What?
What does
Each
that
one,
mean?
each one to his taste.
Shaku Asangu?
Yeah.
No, I don't know why he. No, I don't know why he's coming. That's just my speculation.
Oh, okay.
I don't. No, but he did. He did uh, text that day that he was here that he didn't want to play. He said, uh, I or maybe I was inviting him. Hey, come on over and play with us. And he says, I am not interested because maybe he said something that it encourages competition or something like that. I'll have to check what he wrote. Maybe it's in Messenger. He wrote something like that.
Well, I don't think it's possible to deny that there is competition. That's part of the uh, challenge is to find the optimal way of placing your pieces on the board. And the only way to test that is to place your pieces and then see which way was in fact optimal under those circumstances. So how that doesn't promote world peace is
Oh, here's what he wrote. I found it. It's it was in Messenger, Facebook Messenger. I wrote to Rami, wake up and think clearly. Vinci game about to start. Don and Clem are about to play. And Rami responded, I don't care to play. It teaches people to fight over small territories. And I've witnessed too many people die lately over that sort of mentality. And would you like to see crushed bodies? The result manifest, and I responded, manifest destiny. And he responded, avarice induced murder. Interesting, I responded. I saw the movie Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer, I
Really?
responded. And he responded, be careful of what you are indoctrinated into, Hyro. And and then I responded, when they asked what happened to Rami, I told them, you've become a Jain in attitude, ahimsa, nonviolence. Hmm.
okay.
But where am I? Where am I? Here I am. But anyway, who knows why he hasn't showed up? Or maybe, no,
Well, if I'm
I'd be
not
speculating.
mistaken, what's his wife's name? I've forgotten.
Stacy?
Stacy, yeah. Stacy was not impressed with all of his friends. So I hope that my attendance here hasn't you know, made her more critical of Rami's choice of friends, and I hope
Mm,
my being here hasn't impeded your friendship with him, Ira,
mm,
because you were good friends for a long time.
mm. Yes, occasionally he responds to my sharing in Messenger videos and things. Let's see. Hmm. So, oh, so, but everything is perfect the way it is. Or
This is the best of all possible worlds.
it's as good as it gets, like that movie with Jack Nicholson, as good as it gets. Or like Luis Guru Luis Del Pino
Yes.
often said, uh, what did he often say? Let's see, it is what it is, or something like that. He said, it is what it is. Or SH asterisk T happens. Mhm. Or what else can you say about it? Hmm. Hmm. Is it fate? Is it destiny? Is it karma? Is it hmm, is it our fabrication? Is it our worldview? Is it our interpretation of what is happening? Hmm. It it's a movie. We're watching a movie. This is a movie. Uh, a simulation. We're in a simulation. A, a virtual reality simulation. Uh, it's it seems pretty real though. I I think this is realer than the dreams I've had that I can remember. But when we're in a dream, that seems pretty real. We don't say, "Oh, I'm in a dream." Although there's a practice like a dream yoga where you try to remember that you're in a dream, and then when you know that you're in a dream, then maybe you can control the dream a little better. I mean, try different things in the dream. If you know that you're dreaming in a dream, what will your dream be like?
No, I can't follow that dream.
The American dream. Oh, do Canadians have American dreams, or are they Canadian dreams?
Do dreams have national borders?
Oh, if a Canadian has an American dream, then do they require permission or a visa? Hmm. Oh, when you come to visit to Florida, do you have to get a visa?
No, Canadians, if you have a Canadian passport or um what do you call it? Uh a permanent resident certificate, I think you get an automatic visa at the border.
I'm gonna have to sign out, but it's been a pleasure.
Thanks very much,
It's been
Mike.
a pleasure.
I'll send. I think I could convert it to text and lose all the formatting and lose all the pictures, including the pictures of the board. But you can then copy them in and paste them. But then format the text the way you want, or you can ask the guy to send you the guy who created it to send you a editable version.
Yeah, I think that's what we'll have to do. I'll send you, if you don't mind, I'll send you the original that he sent me, just in case it's different, but I don't think it is. It looks like they're both exactly 754K or whatever that is. And
Mm.
you're probably right. It's probably a photograph of the actual document.
Yeah, it may not have been a photograph, but it may have been a photograph, but it's the equivalent. It was created by by something like a paint program or Photoshop
Yeah.
with individual text blocks.
Mm.
So he may not have actually cut and pasted on paper and then took a photograph of it. There's a technique with Photoshop of creating what looks like a photograph.
Mm.
Yeah, well, I don't know what they did, but I can't, he wants me to edit it and offer some comments, but I can't do that. So,
Well, you could edit it. You could write the comments on a sheet of paper and say that under how to play, uh, change. Each game is divided into innings. Becomes each game is divided into sections, for example,
yeah.
and create a script so that he could edit it.
Well, I don't see, the problem is I don't think he's doing it himself. It's probably some
Well, right. He could send that to the person who's doing it for him.
Yeah, but I think that there's a limit to how much work they're prepared to put into this for
He
him.
put a lot of work into doing this. This is a very professional job.
Yeah, I think they did a good job. Just that there's a few small errors there, and maybe we should just leave it the way it is. I don't know. He's he has health issues as well, so I'm not sure how much
We all.
he has for all this.
He's worried about the sky burial too.
I have no idea, but I
Wants
think
to fly free in the sky with the vultures.
and with the Buddhist monks and the Book of the Dead, and who knows.
Now I've heard of other books of the dead. There's the Mayan Book of the Dead. There's the Egyptian Book of the Dead. Oh, did we lose? We lost. Did we lose Hyro?
No,
No, he's
I'm not. I'm playing dead.
Now maybe if you're in a hurry to go, we'll do it another time. But Hiro and
All
I,
right, I'll see you. I'll see you all tomorrow, maybe.
what's tomorrow? Sunday?
Tomorrow is what?
Oh yeah, that's the
Plato's Cave.
Oh, and at 10, I saw an I said I put in my calendar that at 10 today there's a Stoic meeting in, maybe it's a meetup online. Stoic Dan has a Stoic meeting. Maybe it's like a one of those
Maybe I'll
conferences
see
or
you there.
something.
All right. Yeah. You all have a great day.
Bye, Mike.
Bye,
All right.
Mike.
Yeah, I think it's Stoicon, Hiro.
Stoicon.
But
Oh,
isn't that an in-person thing?
oh, maybe.
Or is it
I think it's both. Both. If it's Stoicon, it's both.
oh, is it?
Oh,
Okay. So then
maybe
maybe we can go.
maybe we should go to that
Yeah.
and scare them with the sky burial or something.
Now, how do we find
They have to go to meetup.com and find it.
Stoicon 2023? Yeah, 10 o'clock. Should we be indifferent to beauty? How to appreciate beauty?
Oh,
I didn't know it was online as well. Modern
oh,
Stoicism. Get tickets. Tickets are by donation.
oh, I got a link.
Where?
Is that-
What is it? I can't see the Zoom link. Oh, here it is. No, Eventbrite.
Oh, I don't know. I'll put it in the chat and see if it works for you.
Is it a Zoom link or an Eventbrite link?
I don't know. try it. See if it works.
Okay,
Oh,
let me-
but we have to sign out, I guess.
yeah.
But it looks like a Zoom link. It's got zoom.us and then oh, you know what? I should send it to my other phone using WhatsApp and then open it in my other phone, see if it works. Oh, but I'd have to sign out on the other phone and use another Zoom account. Oh, where's my other phone? I lost my other phone. It's here somewhere. Maybe it's under me, under my bed. Oh, here it is. I'm gonna try. Hold on, I'll try this other phone.
Public
Oh,
space.
oh, it's still
green,
alive.
It's
I-
square.
I joined it. The
and
link
we're working on
works.
many great, shows
I'm in
and-
Oh
Silicon,
yes, I
Iro.
can hear. I can hear him.
Look it up, thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear
Look, all
Stoic
right.
Dan.
More people admitting to the room. Today we had 59 RSVPs. Usually at Orlando Stoics on a Monday or Friday night, we get 105% of our RSVPs.
Oh, I'm gonna sign out. I guess. That's it for this meeting. It was perfectly unperfect, but that's okay. So thanks for joining